Hello, friends. This is Larry with Rides Done Right, and this is the Salem Roadster Show.
This car was already built by Strictly Street Rods. He got wiped out in the four-way
You have the most talented guy in there, but if he's not driving, then the rest of the crew is in the back.
This show, top 5 in America.
This is Greg with Rides Done Right, and here we have Jerry Kjensrud of Sherwood with this beautiful 39 Chevy Coupe called Halo. Tell us a little bit about this. What's your favorite things?
Well, the color is probably the favorite. It's called PPG Blue Heaven. The car has a lot of major modifications, from chop top to made it into a hardtop, to raised fenders and widened fenders. It's been channeled. It sits on a tubular frame with independent suspension front and rear. It's running an LS2 with a supercharger on it, so it really gets down the road really good.
So this has been chopped, channeled, sectioned. It's had every kind of massaging that you could. And I think the fenders are wider, much wider. How much wider are those?
The fenders are 3 inches wider in the rear on each side, and they've been raised 4.5 inches up. So it makes the car really wide in the rear. We're running 305 tires on the back, and they hook up really good.
So you got a supercharger, and you've got these fat meats in the back, and this thing must just grip and go.
Yeah, we dynoed it at 450 horse at the rear wheel, and I've headed it to about 105, but no police here, are there? But I mean, through the corners, this thing just sticks through the corner. You come in the corner, it just sets down, goes through the corner, and away you go. It's a beautiful, beautiful ride.
Nice. So the suspension is geared up to keep it so it's not swaying and stuff.
Yeah, it goes flat through the corners. Right. So when it'll drop a little bit through the corners, you get flat through the corners, and away you go.
And what suspension's on there?
It's Heights Super Ride in the rear with Ride-Tech shocks, and then we have Heights 3-stage in the front. So, and Ride-Tech also. So that makes the big difference, the shocks.
Nice. And I've looked under there. We'll get shots of this thing. It's just immaculately shiny, beautiful under there. It's as shiny as on the bottom as it is on top. So tell us about the interior.
The interior was done by Stitches up in Washington, and I had a 63 Corvette, and I couldn't get in and out of it, so we decided to build the car around a 63 Corvette's theme. So all the pods are handmade, and if you look inside, the stitching is the same as the 63, and I can get in and out.
And what a nice job! I mean, that brown in there, and with the shiny pieces of accents and the hardware and stuff, and it's just and there's quite a bit of massage. That interior with the Corvette looking is quite unique.
Yes, I mean the pods have been widened a little bit more. And all the gauges simulate the 63 Corvette setup, right down to the radio that sits in the center.
Nice. So then the paint is PPG. Who did that?
Okay, it's PPG Blue Heaven, and John Byers up in Auburn, Washington did that. This car was supposed to be green, and he said he wouldn't paint it green, so he said PPG has this brand new color called Blue Heaven, and it has so much black pearl in it that there's no other color but blue in this car. So he painted something and showed it to me, and we changed the color from green to blue. So good choice.
That's a good choice. So that you had your mind set on green, and he
Jaguar green.
Jaguar green. So he managed to talk you out of that and kind of point you in the right direction.
Well, it's either that or take it to another painter.
So you have Stitches up in what, Bremerton?
Yep.
And then Byers up in Auburn. How did you get hooked into so many Washington? Because we're in Oregon. So yep. How did you get hooked up with so many up in Washington?
Well, John painted my several of my cars. I had a 39 Chevrolet that I had that I sold, and that's why I created this car, was buyer's, seller's remorse. And then, so he painted about 4 of my cars, so there was no question where I wanted to get it painted. And Stitches was a up-and-coming guy, and he was right up there, and he showed a lot of talent, so we wanted him to do that. And then we have A&M.
A&M. Well, so full disclosure, Jerry and I know each other because my car, my 33 Chevy Roadster, was also done at A&M Deluxe Customs, and that's how we get to know each other so well for over the years. But the fabrication these guys do on this bare metal, it was smooth. You couldn't tell where all the stitching was. Just great workmanship there.
It's amazing, and I have a book here at the show that you can page through and show it in bare metal. We actually photographed it in bare metal at a studio because we got some really good pricing for a studio shot, and we shot just tons of photos of it in bare metal. And when John got the car for paint, he said, well, this is going to be easy because all the gaps were there, and everything was within an eighth of an inch all the way around the car. It was just simply amazing. And the modifications they did to the car, the fenders and the top and everything, the hood and the interior. The way they made the pods and that, those guys are just amazing.
Even that front grille was handmade out of stainless, right? that was all handmade, right?
That front grille is actually a replica of a 39 Chevy front grille, but it's laid back 6 degrees, and all the bars, because there's 5 different thicknesses on a 39 Chevrolet grille. So they copied that identically and laid it back 6 degrees and then made it out of stainless. It took a lot of work.
and then there was the polishing of it, and tell us a little bit about who did a lot of the polishing there.
Yeah, that'd be me. So every bolt on this car I polished, and the supercharger, I think I had it apart 4 or 5 times, polishing that and put it back together again. And engine and everything like that. I helped them, and they let me come in the shop and work on the car. So I was able to polish bolts and grills and engine parts and running gear parts, and then I wired the car. That it was really good that I could go in there and be a part of it.
Yeah, that's what was really nice about that. My part too was getting in there and doing as much as I could. Right. That's a neat part of being a part of the whole build. Right. So the glass is all curved. It's all beautiful. And then it has this unique mechanism. Tell us about that.
Okay, so the front glass on the car is actually off a 91 Chevrolet. And so I went around the junkyards with a pattern and picked out the glass, the curved glass. The glass is curved throughout the car. The rear glass is out of a Subaru. But the glass on the sides actually come up into a groove, and then when you hit the fob, the glass comes down, the door open, just like in the Volvos and the Mini Coopers and that. So it's a true hardtop.
Very nice, very nice. So then there's these accents on the side of the hood, the oval openings, and then I'm not real familiar with that part of Chevy. They must have had some kind of in 39 they had some kind of venting, right?
Well, they had 3 bars go down. This is actually the ovals I took off, plagiarized off an Oldsmobile.
Okay, yeah.
So, and I said those will look cool on there.
Yeah.
And then we put them up there, and they kind of looked all right. And I said, well, we could put a stainless bar right down there, and it'd be really cool. So that's what we ended up doing. So
and then
we kind of fabricated that.
Yeah, and then you took that theme and put it into the display stanchions here as well, and just kind of carried that through.
Yeah, we made the stanchions that hold the bars and everything around. We made them with that accent down the front of them, so everything fits into the car. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It's everything just goes, and there's so much into the display itself. This oval, bars, the oval, and then you have your books and your monitor that you show, and it's pretty unusual to have an oval display, right?
Well, you don't see very many of them. And the car's name is Halo. So we said, well, let's make it a Halo then. Yeah. So we contracted this company in Tualatin that does these girders for freeways. And one of the guys, a car guy, I went over and talked to him. I said, hey, can you bend some stainless bars for me? Some tubing. He said, sure, I could do that. So he bent up these tubes that go around the thing in 4 sections and put them together in there. They work great.
And then Aaron at A&M put the stanchions of the display together, right, and did all that welding.
Well, Aaron from A&M did all the stands, the stanchion, and that, and those guys are great. And we had it designed by had some samples made and that, see how they turn out, and picked one, and then we just ordered up the parts from the laser cutting place, and Aaron went to work, and I stayed away from him.
Yeah.
But he actually got it all done. We sent him up to John and up at Byers, and they painted it all for us.
And those things are heavy, so they're not easy to move around.
No. We have a little cart we put them in to carry them around. So.
But it's all nice. It does go up fast. The display goes up pretty fast because it's all very, because the tubes just kind of slide together. And
I had Aaron and the group from A&M are down in Sacramento for with another car.
Oh, this weekend.
Yeah. So usually they would help me put it together. So I got 3 of my buddies from the car club, and we came out here and we put it together in about 2 hours. So that was pretty amazing. So, and they'd never done that before.
Oh.
And then we got a guy that crawl underneath the car and clean the car too. So we call him the bottom guy. So
that's all part of it, right?
That's all it. Cleaning.
Cleaning, yeah.
Yep,
that's actually what I call therapy. I like just cleaning it just because it just, you go from a nice looking car to just brilliant, and it just, it's a source of pride. So to me, it's therapy.
Yep. I don't mind it at all. They usually sent me around to do the wheels and stuff like that because they didn't want me touching the car. So they're not here this weekend, so I was able to get everything cleaned up.
You were able to touch it this weekend, huh? Well, this is just a beautiful car, Jerry. Congratulations on, and you've got years of. I do want to ask you one thing though before we go. The car, when you got this car, it was pretty rough.
Oh.
It was pretty rough. I saw pictures of it. Actually, I saw it in A&M, and it had rivets around the bottom. Just tell you what happened there.
Well, I bought the car in Northern California. It was white. It had been a Wisconsin car. So I took it up to my house, and I started stripping it down. Then I took it out and got it dipped. Well, when I got it back from the dipper, there was, on the back of the car, there was where they used galvanized like roofing material, and then they put rivets in there to keep the in place. And then they had, I think on the rear quarter, I had 1.5 inches of Bondo that they put over the top of these rivets and that. And we have that on the wall. It's called the Wall of Shame. So
at A&M.
At A&M.
Yeah.
So I mean and then the car was pretty good shape. So I mean, it was a good build, and
it was in good shape with all the rivets.
With all the rivets. Yeah, there was a lot of rivets in it.
I've never seen a car riveted together like that.
I got Bondo. I got the pieces of Bondo at home. So just to remind me, never use 1.5 inch Bondo.
So it goes from rivets and Bondo to this amazing car, and it's just a transformation that it's unbelievable, really. I mean, well, you'll see the pictures here when we go, we put this together, and it's just an amazing car. So congratulations, and have a great time with that.
All right, thanks. All right. Thanks, Greg.
Wow, look at that.
There you go. See you next year.